Welcome to Betting the Breeders' Cup, presented by FanDuel. The race everyone has been waiting for, the most highly anticipated of the Breeders' Cup events, is last. It is the $6 million Longines Breeders Cup Classic featuring the undefeated Flightline. Morning line odds presented by FanDuel. He's listed as 3-5. And why is that? Well, there have been comparisons to the great Secretariat. We'll hear from our analysts if they feel the same. Brittany Urton, Nick Luck, Matt Bernier. There is so much hype surrounding this horse. Why is that? What about him is so exciting?
Because he stretches the boundaries of what is possible in a thoroughbred racehorse. Mm-hmm. And that's on the evidence of just a handful of runs. You've got to remember Secretariat was a Triple Crown winner who ran 21 times in less than 2 years. So comparisons are unfair in that regard. But what's not unfair is the manner in which he won the Pacific Classic, which had echoes of the Great Chestnut. Because whilst his rider would quite happily have rated him down the back with 6 furlongs to run, he just took control of the situation and said thank you very much, and then proceeded to run each furlong faster to produce the second fastest time in the race's modern history, behind only Candy Ride, who was a very good horse himself. So yeah, I think he ought to win this and win it by daylight. It
was a 19 1/4 length victory in the TVG Pacific Classic. You saw in that and may have heard when he was schooling in the paddock, the cameras were flashing and clicking. He brings the people out. Before we get to second on the morning line, Flightline, Matt, I just want to get your take on this incredible athlete.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a stunner, honestly. He is the LeBron James that we have in horse racing. He is the, you name it, Connor McDavid of the NHL. He's just far and away the best in this game. And I just don't see a scenario that he loses this race on Saturday. Life is Good is going to go. He has one way to go to try to beat him, but I don't think Life is Good's a 1 1/4 horse. And Flightline, I think, is going to be right there sitting off of his flank. I think he makes his move rounding the far turn and opens up on the field. I don't want to give the 3-year-olds short shrift. Epicenter and Taba are both improving 3-year-olds who they're not that far behind. But the fact of the matter is they need to move up so significantly and have Flightline regress so significantly just to narrow the gap, never mind beat him, that I just don't see it as a likely scenario on Saturday.
So what do we see going into that first turn? We're not going to see a water truck behind us. So you mentioned Life is Good has got one way of going. Flightline's going to be off of his hip. What do you see behind him?
Well, I think the two of them are going to go just tucked in behind. You're probably going to have Epicenter, who's maybe a few lengths off of it. To be fair, Epicenter wasn't that close to a pace situation in the Travers, and it was very slow. So these horses out front could be going much, much faster than he's accustomed to, which, remains to be seen how he reacts to that. Mm-hmm. Taba, I would think, is going to be in a similar position. By no means brilliantly fast early, but he's tenacious down the lane. The longer, the better for that horse. Other than that, you've got Hot Rod Charlie, who should be in a decent position. Olympiad, I wouldn't be surprised if he's sort of in the same position as Epicenter. But really, you're going to have a race within the race. You're going to have the front two go, and it just is a matter of, do they take the starch out of one another to set it up for somebody else?
Matty, the memories are so short in this game. Going into the Pacific Classic, the question was, would Flightline get the distance? He now looks even better the further he goes, because he's such an enthusiast, so zestful and runs so hard, and he's bred to stay, and he does stay. Makes him even more potent. Now, the orthodoxy is, well, the way we get him beaten is because we show superior early speed, which he'll have a problem chasing. He doesn't have a problem with pace.
The other problem is his main pace rival, Life is Good. There are questions about his ability at 10 furlongs. Again, we know Flightline has no problem with that. Life is Good, the only time he's gone 1 1/4 was in the Dubai World Cup, and he had a relatively easy pace scenario that day. And unfortunately, at the very end of the run, he just got a little bit short and got run down. I don't see a scenario where Life is Good can outfoot Flightline and still have anything left in the tank for that stretch run. If that's the case, Flightline, it's going to be showtime.
I would think I read on the backstretch wants to open up. He wants to get as much separation as he can in front of Flightline.
He couldn't finish second, could he, Rich Strike?
I was just going to ask you, Kentucky Derby winner, 80-1.
This is the dream scenario, right? If for whatever reason Flightline doesn't put on a show, which I think he will, let's say both he and Life is Good hook up. They go way too fast. And the other 3-year-olds, Epicenter and Taba, yeah, maybe they run okay, but maybe they're a little too close to that pace as well. And it takes a little bit of the starch out of them. These other older horses, they're very good. But boy, wouldn't it be fitting that we started the Triple Crown season with a shocker and we wrap up Breeders' Cup season with a shocker, and it's the same horse, Rich Strike, coming from dead last, passing everyone to get the job done at 1,000,000 to 1. I don't think it'll happen, but my goodness, it would be great.
I mean, you're going to have a lot of people here rooting him on because he made a lot of fans in that Kentucky Derby. And he probably made a couple of people some money, right? Why not? Okay, Nick, top pick?
He made all those people money. All the people right there behind you. They all got.
There's nobody behind us. There's nobody at the track today.
They all got rich. Flightline is going to win, and there was an index earlier in the week under or over 6.5 lengths. He's going to win by more than 6.5 lengths.
All right, Matt, I'll ask you the same thing. Top pick, and if it's Flightline, how much?
Showtime. Flightline gets it done. I don't think it's crazy to think it's by 10.
I'm with you, too. I think we're in for something really, really special. Tune in for coverage on NBC of the Longines Breeders' Cup Classic. It is surely going to be a special one with these top-class contenders. $6 million, as I said, on the line in the Longines Breeders' Cup Classic, and glory as well. You heard it here. Both of our analysts incredibly impressed by what we've seen from Flightline. Will he continue that trend? We'll find out on Saturday. And again, you can enjoy the race or you can bet on it. Either way, new FanDuel customers, bet the Breeders' Cup and get up to $100 back if your horse doesn't win. Thanks for watching Betting the Breeders' Cup, presented by FanDuel.